SeeJeanty, back at it again with another episode highlighting a change maker within the diaspora, impacting the Haitian community, no matter where in the world they may be in Haiti. So the qualification really is it a Haitian community somewhere? And today, I got something special for you. Pix City Studio, an institution since 2020. In here, it is a wonderland of photography and videography, a setup, a true. Listen, I don't want to say Tyler Perry doesn't have something nice going on in Atlanta, but listen, this right here, it's something real special. I'm gonna need you to stay tuned because we're about to take you inside. We're gonna show you what's in here, and then we're gonna have a conversation. Gonna have a special conversation with the owner, specifically geared to get you thinking how, wherever you may be, how can I get something like this set up? Because again, inspiring good things is what we need throughout the diaspora, and this is just one of them. But listen, I'm not gonna sit out here too long. We need to get out, we need to get inside, we need to chat, we need to show you some stuff. It's gonna be a great episode. Come on. Right away, as you enter, you're greeted with a sitting area, receptionist, and a bunch of things that kind of put you in the right mindset that you're in a place to do work. And quite frankly, what I call the visual arts, between photography, between videography, and a bunch of different things that no matter what you're trying to do, if you're a producer, if you're someone looking just to kind of get your baby photos together, if you're someone who is sick, everyone and their mama has a podcast now, a podcast space, there's so many different things you can do here that has been done here. A lot of big name people have been here. I'm sorry, I won't mention their names, but I mean, maybe I'll send a photo here, or maybe here, maybe you recognize this guy here, maybe you recognize this person here, or maybe here. Or here, right? A few different folks have all stepped foot in this studio, again, since 2020, an absolute institution. And it was born out of really necessity. The owner didn't really necessarily the quality, the style, right? That was available. And so, you know what? I'm gonna just do it myself. And this spot was born, right? Anyways, I have a lot more to show you. Come on. Here I find myself in one of the sets, very professionally put together. We got hardwood floors, classic old school chairs. We got leaves in the back here. I mean, this can be worked really and tweaked to just about anything one could need. And you can imagine and truly see yourself doing a variety of different things here, from a very gentlemanly shoot, right? To something a little more dynamic, maybe, I can imagine myself doing a Denzel. Give me my shoot, man. Something like classical train. So there's different things that can happen. It just is set low. But there's more sets. Come on. And yes, the world is mine, especially when you can build worlds as relates to what you have going on here, and of course you have all this available to you, right, depending on what you got going on. And I must say, very subtle, and what's really cool, every set here, you can always bring in stuff, not only from the outside, but the fact that there's a whole plethora of props and other things that you can bring in. For example, like this, or maybe like this. The props are endless here. Or perhaps something a little more salacious, mon ami, like this here, Certainly you could fancy yourself some grapes, as you do whatever it is that you're trying to do, but this is certainly available. mama told me life's like a box of chocolates, right? It can always do better, right? and a shot like this certainly harkens back to fantastic scenes, all right? So, you know, just one more. That's right. Your boy got some piano handles, and even this is available depending on what you got going on. And you know, in the coup de grace, you know, scenes on scenes, sets on sets, as it relates to, again, just imagine doing a photo shoot, imagine doing a video shoot, imagine doing a sort of, you know, preps for a wedding, right? You know, preparations for your child, you know, the amount of things you can do here. I mean, listen, I don't know if there's producers watching, you know, but if you're a producer watching and looking to figure out where in South Florida I can rent a space and do a production over time. I mean, my mind personally is bubbling in terms of what we're going to be doing here with SeeJeanty. So if you see any, going forward from here, you see any really different things on the channel, you know, my viewers will know it's happening at Pix Studio. It's always an absolute blast and a pleasure to have a conversation with the responsable, to get nuggets, to get the real skinny directly from the source. And this time, fortunately, we can do it again with the responsable Maybelline Despine. Chérie, how are you doing? I appreciate your time to hang out in this fantastic space. You know, I think a lot of my audience, I think a good chunk of them in South Florida may not even have known this was here. You know, 5+ years strong. But let's start from the beginning. Who are you, and the entire backstory of how we got here today? Please lay it on us.
All right. First of all, thank you. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure receiving your message, and thank you for coming here. Who am I? I'm an entrepreneur, like you would say. I am Maybelline Despine. I'm a photographer. That's how I got started in the, you know, to get into the studio area. Before I had this, I had a shipping company to Haiti. And when COVID happened, things started slowing down. And I saw that I was getting booked a lot as a photographer. And I wanted to explore that, to have more options, you know, not just, because I was mostly outdoor. I was probably 100% outdoor. I went to shoot at my first studio somewhat in July 2020. And by August 2020, I opened mine. It wasn't even something that we were thinking about, but when I saw the demand, I guess, and then it was easier for me to have several sessions a day here versus being limited by either rain and sunlight and all of that. And that's why I opened up the studio. And another reason why, it's because, yes, when I declared myself a professional photographer, I had very little experience about what I was doing. Yeah. And I think the studio was going to help me. I wanted the space to learn. I knew nothing about studio lighting. I was getting better at outdoor photography. So when I got the space, it was easier for me to practice. And since I also like creative shoots, it was also my own space without being timed, where I could just create my sets, get models, practice. And eventually, well, we started getting booked as soon as we got it, and then eventually I put it out for rental because a lot of people were asking about it.
Yeah. And it's been you haven't looked back since, which is good to hear. And I can tell you, today we're in August, it is hot, and so I can tell you, not having to be out in the conditions is indeed a positive. So you said you were at a studio, and you know, was it something about that like you could do better? Or you know, what do you feel you're bringing a little different to the space that perhaps wasn't there before?
The studio I went to 3 studios. Between July and August, I went to 3 studios. And I think what I wanted, with the models that it was not professional models. It was just, I got booked for a shoot and we went to a studio. And eventually, I would say maybe 15 to 20 minutes into the shoot, it was just backdrops. The model started getting, like, she was bored. We tried different colors, but it was the same poses. It's just that the background color changed.
Right.
So what did I anticipate on building something with set? Not really. It's because my shipping company was in this plaza. I wanted something very close to my shipping company. And the smallest size that they have is actually 2,500 square feet. It's this warehouse. So when I got the space, it just, you know, something clicked. Like, you know what? I can make this a lot more than just a backdrop studio. We can have sets. I can build it to make it look like a bedroom set. We have a bed back there. You can have, you know, a living room set. If you wanted something that would look so, you know, future yard and the good old like cyc wall, you know. So I wanted to have something where if someone comes and they wanted it to be like, okay, well, I want to look like I'm sipping coffee at my window, you know. So it's just, this way, it's not just background changes. It's just like the person would be there and they'll have different sets that they could go to. So one of our sessions is like 3 outfits. So one outfit could be just headshots, whereas the other one could be I'm sitting in a backyard or I'm sitting outside, you know, whatever vibe that you want to give it. And if you want to go for something even more creative, then we just think of, oh, we have the space. So
now, it's really interesting is that you come from a background of business, right? You had your own business in terms of shipping before. Now, photography, of course, there's an artistic creativeness, of course, that I'm sure you have inherently. How'd you mix that together? Or really, the business side of this, you know, talk to us about that. Like, how has that been, you know, getting that sorted, you know?
Yeah, I've always liked creative stuff. But although I wasn't shipping, it was just, shipping was good at the time. I love what I was doing. But at some point, I opened another company called Artistic Craft at the time, where I was wrapping bottles in yarn. If I wasn't doing that, I was drawing. I love drawing. So I was drawing, and then I started creating jewelry with my drawing. I started creating like shirts and stuff like that. So it was, at some point, I started taking pictures of models with my stuff. With the items that I was creating. So it was just kind of like, that's where I even went more into photography. I had the camera when I had my first daughter because I wanted to capture like everything.
Like our mother or father.
Exactly. So, but then once we opened up Artistic Craft, I was doing more shoots. And then eventually I was like, after I got pregnant with my third daughter, I was like, you know what? I did my own maternity shoot. So I bought like a curtain. And I felt like my house looked like a studio. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I could do this. I'm a photographer. So I declared myself a professional photographer. But I had a lot to learn. And I think eventually then I wanted to know what kind of photographer I wanted to be. Because, you know, photographer is like medicine. You could be wedding, just maternity or baby. You could combine it all, or you could pick one. And eventually I search for what would speak more, you know, to me. Because when I first started, a lot of the shoots that I was doing reminded me of Haiti. Just like my drawings, you know, it's a lot about the scenes that I saw in my childhood, living in Haiti or whatever. So when I finally started photography, I was recreating sets from Haiti, like playing with wousle or just about anything that would remind me of home. And then eventually it drifted into, okay, let's be different. Let's be creative. Let's do crazy. Like, you know, let's do something people wouldn't think about. And from there, it was just, we did a lot of it outdoor. Eventually, when we got the space, then we got even more creative.
Has the business followed the creativeness as you've made more things available? And it sounds like, too, the creative perhaps is maybe unique, too, because as you mentioned, other places you went, they didn't have sets, right? And so that's unique and not too common in that segment that you're in.
At the time.
Oh, now for folks of copying, or sure.
No, I mean, it's been there, but okay. I guess the place I was going didn't have it. But now I see a lot more studios with sets.
What do you feel has driven the business over time to you?
So when I opened this up and I build the different sets, and photographers started coming here, realizing, oh, you know what? We could actually be here and do so many different things. And then some other photographers started coming here, seeing that, okay, we can actually come here as a group, where each of us shoot at different sets. As far as my clients, it was like, oh, wow. So I can come here and actually do my birthday shoot, my business shoot, or something for my daughter.
Multiple things at once.
Because of the different outlets available. So just like people with music videos, like the piano is one of my biggest set or prop, I should say. So I think that was different, especially at the time where people...
And that probably draws like repeat business because, as you said, they see other things they can do when they come here.
And then the other thing, it was like a lot of the studios were up north, like by where I live in Fort Lauderdale. And in this area, we didn't have as many studios. At the time, I'm not sure what's the competition, like what it is like right now. But at the time, it was like one of the few studios in Pembroke. And so that drove a lot of people because, first of all, when you do come here, it wasn't something where you have to share the space. So it was like you book and you have the space all by yourself, like whether you were booking a session or you were renting the studio. So I think that also was a big factor, the privacy of it. So I would say definitely privacy, set, people see how they could be creative. And of course, a lot of the posting that I was doing drew a lot of attention where people were able to see, okay, well, we can come here and create this. Or I would help them with sets, some of the sets that they saw that were creative and they wanted to repeat that for their clients. Because the way photography works is you get inspired. Like I may get my inspiration from Pinterest and some photographers may look at my page and be like, you know what? I like what she did here. I want to do that too. There's a space, we can always contact her. Or I could see something else someone is doing and I'm like, okay, I want to do my own version of that. So that's the way.
So what remains a challenge still, today in 2025? And I know you have some growth projections, but talk about that too. Like what remains a challenge? And also in another 5 years, where do you see this space? Is it going to be twice as large or different directionally? Where do you want to go? And what, as you overcome these challenges?
I think the biggest thing everybody's talking right now is the economy. Because once you rent, so far, I've only rented from this company, but I'm pretty sure it's like that everywhere. Like commercial space, they go up every year. So whatever you started with versus what I'm paying now, not twice as much but it's very close. And at that time, you don't want to keep raising your price, but at the same time, the bills are getting higher. Like even FBLs went higher, like everything's going higher. So I think that's the biggest challenge is how are you going to manage with everything that's increasing and you trying to remain competitive and affordable in this market, but eventually you have to find that balance.
Yeah.
So that is my biggest challenge right now. It's rent. The FBL bill, having the space like that comes with overhead. So, and that's where, you have to balance and see where can you go up? What are you going to add on, to remain competitive? Because again, when I started, we have a lot more studios right now that offers just about the same, kind of like that. Well, different sets, but the same idea. So you just have to remain competitive and stay on top of stuff.
Always refreshing. No, I know even the set we're talking here, I think you said recently, as of like yesterday or something, you put this together. So it was always, it's always refreshing. That's good. And so basically in time, in 5 years time, where do you, like, what's the big, I don't know, what's the ambition? Like what do you want Pix City to grow into?
I would probably like to own my warehouse.
Okay. Does it have an even bigger space, it sounds like?
Well, yeah, because, just like if you were to buy a house, like I bought my house during the first market, when the market dropped.
Yep.
And right now, my mortgage compared to a lot of the mortgages I see is significantly lower. So it's almost like if you were to own your space, you don't have to worry about that rent and rent. I mean, but there are other challenges. We've looked into it. There's a lot of different things that you have to look into. But I would say going forward, yes, if we could go bigger, definitely my own place, having control of.
Tyler Perry, look out. She's coming. Maybelline's coming.
And then working on bigger projects, because there's the studio and there's also me as a photographer.
Right.
So, And it's really two different things, because as the studio could be rented, I'm probably out there doing my own shoot. So as for me, I would like to have bigger projects as a photographer.
Listen, I've seen some of her work. We'll post her Instagram where you can see some of that work, and trust me, it's worth a book in Maybelline, I believe. So if someone is in Indiana, Ohio, Boston, you know, or maybe I don't know if there's places like this in Chile if you're watching, Brazil. I don't know if Haitians who are watching me from there, you know, anywhere in the worldwide diaspora community, if they're looking to start something like this, what's the biggest advice somebody gave you when you were first starting this from a creative/business perspective to maximize your chance of success? What would you share to the audience?
If someone was to be looking into this right now, like let's say you're a photographer, I would definitely say take some time to grow your photography business, because a space like this requires a lot of investment. So like for me, I didn't just start off by opening up my studio. I was a photographer for a good 2 years. I saved a lot of money. I did, ended up having to get like loans and stuff like that to help me out. But at least I was able to calculate, okay, by investing this is how much I can bring a month. So I knew enough of the business to be able to see, okay, can we afford this? Is this gonna last a long term? So it's definitely doing research. There are some mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes getting this, because I saw the rent. I'm like, okay, it's affordable. We could do it. I didn't think about future increases at the time. I didn't think about the light bills. I didn't think about the employees that I would need. I didn't think about, like my vacation. If I were to go away, like who's gonna, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't do. I had to end up finding out the hard way.
Mm-hmm. Jumping off the cliff and learning the
flip.
Right.
So, and of course, I had to learn about what are the downtimes of like studios, a photography business. December is really good. Christmas is really good.
Some seasonality.
But we do have some seasons that are not so great.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of things that I had to learn and quickly find solutions for.
And before we go, so talk about the full suite of services that is done here, so folks who are watching can know all the things you offer here if they look at the call and book.
Well, we have me as a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So people book maternity sessions, like kids, birthdays here. We have portrait, business, everything. So we do different stuff here. But besides me being the photographer, we have, like, for example, this is where I record my show. I have a show called Creole Cap Palais. So where we work with different Haitian artists.
An episode or two.
Because I'm from the north.
Now I'm going to be invited, huh? Okay.
So yeah, we're able to do like a full show here. And this is exactly where it's recorded, but the set will look entirely different. We have people who do video shoots. So technically, the main thing is Maybelline Photography, book photo shoots. And there's Pix City Studio, where that is rented, and it's rented for different purposes. So we've had people that rent it for workshops. We've had people that who rented the studio for, like I said, videos, commercials. We do product photo shoots also. So it's a range of different things. So yeah, videos, shows, workshops, what else? Like company shoots, definitely the seasonal stuff, yeah.
And you heard it directly from the source. There's all the things you can book there. The information is going to be right here below. Maybelline, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
And if you're watching it, and when you call in or when you email in, make sure you tell them SeeJeanty sent me. And this episode is a wrap. I want a special shout out to Pix Studio Maybelline for allowing us to be out here and show the incredible work that she's doing. Again, powerhouse businesswoman doing powerhouse things. I hope you got a little bit of inspiration. I hope you got a little bit of ideas juice, not only in terms of what you can do here for yourself, for your business, but also, again, no matter where you are, the fact that you potentially could put something together and to benefit your community in this same way. If you made it this far, first off, hats off, I appreciate you. But here's how you can support what we got going on here. Share the video, like the video, comment. What was your favorite aspect or element or thing that you learned from this video? Very important. We take that feedback real serious. And then finally, most importantly, support what we're going on here directly by going to hyprodistribution.com, where you can get Haitian-made, Haitian-sourced products that come directly from Haiti. We're talking jonjo, we're talking Haitian coffee, we're talking lalo, we're talking shela. A lot of the staples that if you're Haitian, you grew up with, you can actually find in Haiti, and we can bring it to you, to your home delivery, wherever you are. hyprodistribution.com. And every sale, not only is it supporting the Haitian economy, the Haitian farmer, Haitian actor, Haitian producer, you're supporting the show. Guys, thank you so much. This is what we got going on here. We're going to keep going all over the world to find incredible change makers in the diaspora. And don't forget, it will be in Haiti too, don't you worry. Just stay tuned, subscribe, watch the episodes, and we'll be back at it again when we're back at it again. Peace.